Hey guys, so today you and I are going to talk about genius programmers and why they don't help other programmers. So let's get into it. So the question in question was, Fredrik, why is it that there are so many smart coders out there who don't spend their time helping out other programmers and sharing their knowledge? And the short answer is because either it's boring to them, or, shocker, they have a life outside of your problems. Let me explain. So this is a very common mindset that I see in, well, I'm not going to use the term millennial because technically I am a millennial, and I have never, ever thought this way, but there are some people who, I like to call them victims. And what I mean by a victim is that this person has got it into their head somehow that the world owes them something. Imagine that. Someone walks around, and there's a few of them going around, and they walk around and they believe that they are entitled to something, or that they should get help with something, or that someone somewhere else should be responsible, or at least be incentivized to do things for them. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I've never, ever been able to get along with such an individual, because that is, in my mind, a victim mentality. A victim mentality is an individual who looks to the rest of the world to solve their problems, when the reality is that you are the only person who can solve your problems. And nobody in this world, well, most people don't, at the very least, give two shits about you. They don't give two shits about you, and they don't give two shits about your problems. It doesn't matter if you have suffered more than most of humanity. It doesn't matter how horrible your life situation is. Most people don't give a fuck. And nothing's you being entitled. There's no magic meter, guys, for how much suffering or how much work someone should endure before someone should take pity on you. It's just not a productive mindset. In most cases, all that's going to happen is that you're going to be met with a lot of indifference to your problems. Some people do genuinely care and might help you out, but at large, people will not. And the same goes for these genius super programmers. These people have, through, in some cases, you just inherit gifts, but in most cases, a lot of personal hard work, learned enough to be considered to be experts or to be really good at something. And you see, that's something they did because they actually worked at it. And now that they have achieved all of these things, they have other stuff they want to do as well. They might want to progress their own understanding and just continue that process. Or they might have, I don't know, other things going on in their life that makes them happy. So when someone asks, why aren't more people spending time helping out other people, less skilled people, and so forth, it comes down to that. What's more important to you? I sit here and I try to share some thoughts about software engineering, and I make videos and so forth because it brings me happiness. It's not because I earn any money from it or anything like that. I don't have any incentive apart from the fact that I enjoy it. And I promise you, if something came along tomorrow that made that something that wasn't fun, or like I don't enjoy doing this anymore, I will stop. It's not because I don't care about you. It's because my life, I'm not living that life I'm sorry, but people have stuff to do. Everybody has stuff to do, and so do you. You can reverse the question for the person who asked this question: why aren't you spending all your extra cash on the homeless, or the poor, or the hungry? Or why are you not giving away all your money? Why are you not dedicating your entire life to looking after victims of different crimes or things like that, or going to the homeless shelter and feeding people? You're not, most likely, spending all your time doing that because your life is about you, just as my life is about me. And if we find a way where we both feel comfortable and we're both happy with the situation, well, that's when we actually start caring about other people. Usually, people care about other people because it makes them feel good. And there are many programmers who are very accomplished who don't really care all that much about teaching people. It's not their forte, it's not their passion. That's not what they're about. They're about creating new innovative products, or they're about entrepreneurship, or maybe they're about their family most of the time outside of doing work-related things. That's what kind of is, well, that's the reality of the situation. I had this very weird request the other day where a person stated to me that, oh, Fredrik, if you have so many people contacting you about job opportunities, why don't you pass them along to some of your subscribers? And I kind of went, because that would mean that would create a situation for me where I would have to be involved in the recruitment process. So I would in effect become a recruiter myself. Because when I have tons and tons of people, like we're talking about quite a lot of messages coming from all kinds of people who are looking for my profile. Well, if I'm going to recommend another person, well, then I have to create some big list where I need to maintain a list of all the profiles, and then I need to check whether or not these are, like, otherwise I might as well just, oh, here's a bunch of people from my YouTube channel, you can message them instead. I could do that, but that's not going to give the results that the subscriber is talking about. The subscriber wants someone to give you a referral or create a referral. And if I'm going to sit and do that, that's going to be most of my day. Because that's exactly what a recruiter does. It's a full-time job to connect the right company with the right person. And that's just, it's not something that I enjoy. It's not that I don't want to help people. It's just that I have a life outside of just pretty much doing everything I can to help somebody else out. And that is, I'm very sorry to say, a very selfish thing, but every single person on this planet does it, pretty more or less. There are exceptions to this, but at the end of the day, we are not all running around trying to make the world a better place all the time. Sometimes you need some personal time just to get back on your feet. So what I want you to take away from this is that the reason why there are so many very skilled developers who don't share their knowledge with other people, well, some of them are absolutely very selfish and they don't want someone else to muscle in on their position or whatever, but most of them are just busy. They have things to do. They have lives outside of your world, and they don't spend a lot of time teaching and educating because they're not interested in that stuff. Some programmers are, and I'm very happy to say that there are quite a lot of very good developers who share their content on the internet and blog posts, and they talk about it and so forth, because this is a creative field. There's so many people who are helping out, and I don't think it's right to fault a person for not doing that sort of thing, when the reality is that nobody owes you anything except for you. You're the only person who owes yourself anything, and you're the only person who can change your situation. So I don't think it's a healthy mindset to have the idea that other people should help you. Rather, ask the question, what can I do to improve my position? And since quite a lot of these successful programmers have done the same, why can't you? Because the really good, talented programmers, they didn't necessarily have anybody to give them a free ride or help them. They went through the work, and you can as well. Have a great day.